with that video, we want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning at the Latino Data Hub community briefing. On behalf of the UCLA Latino Policy and Politics Institute, we want to thank you for joining us today. My name is Leila Burgos. I'm the Deputy Director here at UCLA LPPI, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar. Before we start, I wanted to take a moment to share why the Latino Data Hub is so important to us. At UCLA LPPI, our mission is clear. We strive to create a brighter future for Latinos and communities of color through our strategies of research, advocacy, mobilization, and leadership development. And our aim is that these strategies propel policy reforms that expand opportunities for our communities. Now, one of the LPPI's founding premises is that Latinos are not a monolith. And through accurate data, what we can do is change the narrow narratives that have dominated this country on who Latinos are. We know that Latinos are multiracial, they are multi-ethnic, and span a wide spectrum of lived experiences. But without accurate disaggregated data, these experiences don't show up in the numbers. But today, we are unveiling a powerful new digital tool that embodies our commitment to our mission and will demonstrate the rich diversity of the Latino community. So in today's webinar, I was peeking through who's here today, and it's not only some of California, but of the country's most important change makers who have tirelessly worked alongside us to improve our communities. You all are advocates, community organizers, policymakers, philanthropists. We have some scholars on here. And each and every one of you have demonstrated your commitment to improving the lives of Latinos and communities of color in the US. So really hope that today the Latino Data Hub becomes one of the more dynamic resources that you're able to use and empowers you to do the dynamic work that you have been doing. In this next hour, we're going to explore the capabilities of the Latino Data Hub. But before we dive into the details, we again just want to thank you for being here. And it's our hope that by the end of today's webinar, that you are all even more inspired, informed, and equipped to make a difference. So we're going to start on this journey of data discovery with today's program with our Director of Research, Dr. Rodrigo Dominguez-Villegas. He is the Director of the Latino Data Hub, and I would like to pass it to you, Rodrigo.
Thank you so much, Leila. Buenos dias to those in the West Coast and buenas tardes to those of us who are in the East. My name is Rodrigo Dominguez-Villegas, and I'm the Director of Research at LPPI and the Director of the Latino Data Hub. And I cannot be more thrilled to see you all in this virtual room, finally showcasing something that I've been dreaming of and working on for the good part of the past 3 years. So let me tell you why we created the Latino Data Hub by asking you a few rhetorical questions. So how frequently have those of you working in philanthropy? I see the guest list. There's a lot of people in philanthropy here. How often did you try to advocate for impactful investments in Latino communities, only to encounter inquiries from your board asking, where is the data? How frequently have those of you leading community-based organizations been pressed by a prospective funder to provide demographic profiles of the individuals receiving your services by asking, where is the data? How frequently have those working in news media sought to amplify narratives pertaining to Latino communities, hoping for greater coverage and depth, only to be met by editorial questions about the number of readers in your market that would care about these issues, again asking you, where's the data? In my past work as an activist fighting against family separation, I was frequently stopped and asked, show me the impact of deportation on US citizen children left behind. Again, where's the data? Well, we hope that with the Latino Data Hub, we can all now say, here is the data. So what goals do we have in mind when creating this amazing tool? First, is to change the narrative by allowing all of us, through data, to embrace our complexity. As Leila said, Latinos in the US are often treated as a monolith, obscuring not only our incredible diversity and contributions, but also the wide disparities that exist between Latinos and other groups and within Latino communities. The Latino Data Hub shows the complexity of Latino communities, moving beyond simplistic narratives It uncovers the interconnected social, economic, and political factors influencing Latino well-being. The second goal is to design targeted and equitable policies that address the needs of the most underrepresented members from our communities, who are frequently invisible in the data. And we do this through the power of data disaggregation. And let me give you some data points to show the power and need for data disaggregation. So 19% of Latinos in the US live in overcrowded homes. That's the highest of any major racial or ethnic group, and 12 percentage points higher than the general population. But if we disaggregate the Latino number further by national origin, for example, we see that overcrowded rates range from 4% for Latinos of Uruguayan descent to 30% for Latinos of Guatemalan descent. Another important data point that shows the need for data disaggregation. 18% of Latinos in the country are uninsured. But if we disaggregate this by citizenship, we see that 45% of Latinos without citizenship are uninsured. Unfortunately, until this week, there wasn't a place for accurate disaggregated data focused on Latinos that would allow lawmakers, community change makers, and other leaders to understand these disparities without being a data scientist. And the third goal, we hope this tool empowers all of you to be able to advocate for change. No longer should the question, where is the data, be an obstacle for fundraising, changing investment strategies, or pushing for changes in policy. So what is the Latino Data Hub? It's a user-friendly data platform that empowers advocates, decision makers, and the media with insights to make informed decisions that will improve the well-being of Latino communities across the US. Using the data science expertise of the UCLA LPPI team, we leverage data collected in the American Community Survey, the largest yearly survey collected by the US Census Bureau. And we do all the coding, the data management, the survey weighting required to create accurate and reliable estimates on a wide range of indicators of Latino well-being at the national, state, and county levels. And what makes it unique? Well, first is the breadth of issues covered. We provide valuable data points on over 130 indicators across 10 issue areas ranging from access to transportation to child well-being to income. Second is that there's not only breadth, there's also depth of information that we provide through data disaggregation. And I will emphasize the importance of data disaggregation because it allows our users to break down information into smaller subpopulations by race, sex, national origin, nativity, and other key variables that have been systematically used for oppression and exclusion. Disaggregated data leads to more accurate diagnoses and better targeted equitable policymaking. It is the nuances of the insights we provide that make these tools so powerful. Third, our interface, as you're gonna see in a bit, is incredibly user-friendly and does not require our users to do any data coding. You will be able to get the data point you need by just pointing and clicking through our menus. Fourth, the data queries and the data visualizations are incredibly customizable, so you can create impactful and beautiful data visualizations very easily. And last, but probably most important, es bilingüe. Todo en esta plataforma está en español. Y como decía mi abuela, si eres bilingüe, vales por dos. If you're bilingual, you're worth for two. So I want to emphasize something about the process that got us here. And thank you all for your involvement. Together with you, we conducted countless listening and testing sessions. From your feedback, we refined every single detail of the tool, from the issues covered to the colors, to adding guiding features, coming up with a tool that is truly unique and where no detail was left behind. The data tool is still perfectible, and we will continue listening to you all to improve and expand it based on your needs. You can start giving us feedback by using the Q&A function with your comments and questions in this webinar. So you can start right ahead. And though we all know that quantitative data alone is not a silver bullet that will solve everything, we hope this tool can get us closer to the ultimate goals of fostering a nuanced understanding of our vibrant communities challenging stereotypes, advocating for evidence-based solutions that address current inequities, and promoting accountability. I want to thank my incredible team, but also each of you in the audience today, because you all made this happen. Now, I pass it on to my amazing colleague, Ji Zong, Senior Research Analyst at LVPI and Manager of the Latino Data Hub, who will showcase the main features of the tool.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Hello, everyone. My name is Ji, Senior Research Analyst at LPPI and Manager of the Latino Data Hub. This moment feels like a dream come true to me. In the early stage of my career, working as a data analyst at a DC think tank, one of my responsibilities was to fulfill data requests from lawmakers, government agencies, journalists, and community advocates. Often, I regrettably declined due to our limited capacity. It struck me how data access was a privilege. I wish there were more well-curated resources that could empower individuals, especially those without formal data training or extensive resources, to crunch their own numbers, weave their narratives, and advocate for their cause. Today, I'm honored to introduce you to the Latino Data Hub. Let's get started. To get to the site, please go to latinodatahub.org. The home screen offers top-level links for easy access to central features and navigation elements of the tool, including the ability to continue in Spanish. The issue areas contain data related to a specific topic, like demographics, education, language, and employment, among others. You can access them from the top navigation bar or the center left navigation panel. On the right of the center panel, you can find a series of tutorial videos walking you through basic and advanced use of the tool. During this demonstration, I will focus on the custom graphs feature, which enables access to all indicators and allows users to save and share data queries. We recommend you to create an account to take advantage of the full functionalities the tool has to offer, and you can save your work. I am now logged in. Click on Add Graph to start making a data visualization. First, let's pick a visualization type. I will select Map and then click on the drop-down menu to access a full list of indicators. Let's say we're interested in what % of Latinos are uninsured. Now you can see a heated map of Latino uninsured rates by state and a bar chart to rank the state and the US average. When you click on a particular state, let's say Texas, you can find that Texas ranked the 5th highest in Latino uninsured rate, and a detailed breakdown of coverage types among Latinos in the state. Sometimes data points might appear as an NA, like in the case of Maine and Vermont. This happens when your selections result in sample sizes that are too small to show reliable data. Our minimal sample size is 100. One note I wanted to make before we proceed is that we use the US government's official definition of Latino to ensure consistency with other data sources. This includes 20 Spanish-speaking countries from Latin America and Spain, but not Portugal or Portuguese-speaking Brazil. If you're unclear about the indicator's definition, you can click on this icon where you can find notes for clarification and then the full glossary. You can also click on the FAQ button from the top navigation bar to get further support. You can also click on these icons to save an image, view full screen, share a link to your data visualization, download the data in a CSV format, copy the data to your clipboard, and clear all your changes. We welcome you to use visualizations directly from our website or download the data to make your own chart. We only ask you to cite the Latino Data Hub properly. To dive deeper, click View Chart to switch to the bar chart view. By default, the chart compares Latinos to the overall population and other non-Latino racial groups. When scrolling over the bar chart, you'll find a sentence explaining each data point. By clicking on the Customize button, you can first choose a different comparison group on the left. You can also click on this icon for further clarification of the groupings. Let's select Latino descent groups. Now, you see the same data point, but for Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, etc. You can add or remove groups, including specific Central American groups or South American descent groups. I'm selecting Colombian and Honduran in this case. When you scroll down and click on the table, you will access a data table with comparison groups corresponding to your selection. You are able to download the data as CSV or copy data to a clipboard. To compare differences between men and women, you can select Include Sex Comparison in the middle panel and click Submit. Now you can easily see disparities by sex for each group. You can find the legend at the bottom of the chart that the blue bars are for female and the tier bars are for male. You can also select an additional breakdown, which allow you to add another layer of comparison, splitting your data by citizenship, English proficiency, veteran status, and other categories. The result data is color-coded according to your query. You can see that across all Latino descent groups, people with lower English proficiency, the green bar, and men, the darker bars, are more likely to be uninsured. We intentionally built many guiding features to allow our users to interpret the data correctly. For example, you can see a sentence here explaining each data point when you hover over the bars. You can further refine your search based on geography by first selecting a state and then a specific county. Finally, let's review the advanced feature filters. Filters allow users to calculate the indicators only for a subset of the population based on a series of factors: income, age, citizenship, employment status, insurance coverage, and much more. All filter options are pre-selected. Unselect specific options to remove the population you want to exclude from your analysis. For instance, if you're interested in uninsured rates for those who are eligible to vote, you can exclude people under the age of 18 and unselect non-citizens. When you have selected any filters, the subtitle would display what population groups are included in the analysis for your information. We recommend you to use filters with caution because you are changing the universe of analysis. If you create a profile, you can save all your work and add as many data visualizations as you'd like. If you ever run into any obstacles, you can share experience or questions with us by clicking on the red question mark to ask for support and provide feedback. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. This concludes my showcase of the tool, but can answer questions during the Q&A. With that, I will turn it over to Cesar, Senior Policy Analyst at LPPI, to introduce our mobilization effort. Thank you.
Thank you for the intro, G. We really hope that you found this conversation to be informative. I am Cesar Montoya, Senior Policy Analyst, leading our mobilization work here at UCLA LPPI. As we conclude this portion of the session, we really want to emphasize that today is simply the jumping off point for our exciting new hub and our partnerships together. The Latino Data Hub is not just a resource, it's a catalyst for change and data transparency, which I know we all know is so necessary during these days. Your involvement is truly what will make it a transformative tool for each one of our communities. Our collective mission is very clear. It's to harness the power of data for the betterment of Latino communities in the United States. And together, we can turn information into action and create a more inclusive environment that centers Latino issues at the decision-making table. So we quickly want to provide you with a list of 7 items for each of you to actively be able to contribute to the success of the Latino Data Hub going forward. First off, we ask you to please use the toolkit. We have developed a toolkit made up of social media posts, images, messaging guidance, links to the video, and FAQs. These tools are at your disposal to help you spread the word, initiate conversations, and advocate for data-driven decision-making. We ask that you please start sharing on or after next Tuesday, October 17th. Second, please be sure to share widely. Share about the Latino Data Hub on social media and share the platform with your colleagues, networks, friends, family, Latia, anyone who you could think of who could benefit from the data source. Third, amplify the message. Our messaging guidance can support you in effectively communicating the importance of the Latino Data Hub to your communities, organizations, and stakeholders, both in Inglés or in Español. 4, please stay informed. We want you to visit and use the Latino Data Hub regularly. Help us to keep the conversation going and alive, continuously educating yourself and those at your organizations, and use a platform to support your initiatives. 5, be sure to collaborate. Join forces with like-minded organizations and individuals who are passionate about empowering Latino communities. 6, advocate. Use the data from the Latino Data Hub to advocate for policies and initiatives that address the unique needs of our Latino communities. 7th, and lastly, please provide us with your feedback. We really value your input. So if you encounter any challenges, if you have ideas for improvement, if you would like to share any stories of success, please reach out to us. Your feedback is what will help us to make the Latino Data Hub evergreen and ever fresh. So in the future, we at the UCLA Latino Policy and Politics Institute really dream of a collaborative effort alongside each of your organizations. The Latino Data Hub is a transformative tool, but it's your engagement on the ground and your commitment to La Comunidad that is going to shape its impact. We can all create a more equitable and informed community. So let's all take action together. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Cesar, G, Rodrigo, and Lila. I'm Alberto Lammers, the Director of Communications at UCLA LPPI. We will now begin the question and answer session.